Make yourself comfortable. Let your body relax and sink down into the mattress beneath you. Your breathing gets slower and you feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly as you breathe slowly and deeply all the way in and all the way out. Your eyelids feel heavy and start to close, and as you breathe and relax, you are transported into the magical land of Elvaria. You take one last deep breath all the way in and slowly all the way out. Now you find yourself standing on the banks of Elvaria River, all the way upstream, right near the waterfall. The water splashes down, sparkling in the sunshine. And around you is a beautifully green, luscious clearing, edged by a forest of tall, thick old trees. Standing beside the river, next to a funny log-shaped boat, is your friend Tom. He's a boy who lives here in Elvaria, and he goes to wizard school. You can hear some voices off in the trees. And as Tom smiles and waves you over to him, he tells you that he is on an excursion with his wizard class, and they've done some magic here today that he would love to show you. He is so excited that you are here. You look over at the log boat that's beside Tom. It's larger than an ordinary log, and it doesn't quite look like real wood. It does, but it doesn't, and it seems to sparkle and glitter here and there with golden and silvery light, almost as though it's sparkling with magic itself. Tom explained that he and his classmates worked together to create this magical boat. And it's not really an ordinary boat. It doesn't have a motor, it doesn't have sails, it doesn't even have a steering wheel. This boat works by magic and using the current of the water of the river. Tom explains that his classmates are off gathering their lunch. They know how to forage for wild food that is safe to eat. Tom has already collected his food, and he shows you a basket full of blackberries. He offers you some to eat. They are the tastiest, juiciest looking blackberries you have ever seen. You taste one and it is delicious. You get a little bit of purple juice on your hands, but that's okay. It will come off later, and it looks quite fun to look at. Tom sees you looking at the purple stains on your fingers, and he shows you his. He has already been snacking on them and had quite a big lunch. Now he pokes his tongue out at you, and his tongue is purple too. He pulls a silly face and then grabs another blackberry to eat. He tells you that when his classmates get back, they're going to take turns on this fun, magical river ride. And if you would like to, you can come with Tom in the boat on the very first ride. You hear the other voices getting closer. The classmates are coming back now. And as they do, they each find a place to sit in a clearing, all facing the river so they can watch the very first ride of their boat that they have magicked up themselves. You can see their wizard teacher come and join them. He's a tall adult man wearing a wizard's hat and a cloak. All the wizards here are wearing the same uniform, but Tom takes off his cloak. "It's safer for the boat ride," he says. Then he signals to you to come and climb up into the log boat. He gives you a hand and you climb in. Then he follows you. You make yourself comfortable on the wooden bench seat, and Tom says, "Hang on a moment." He takes his wand out of his pocket and waves it. And suddenly a long pillow appears. He asks you to stand up, and then he sits it down on the bench. "There you go," he says, "much more comfortable." Then he tells you he's going to wave his magic wand to put a sort of invisible magic seatbelt on you and one on himself too. And then his classmates wave their wands at the boat too. And Tom explains that they are each adding their magic to it. Magic to help the boat move, magic to help the river flow well and push the boat along, magic for safety, magic for good luck and clearing any obstacles in the way, and magic for a whole lot of fun. Then, because it is so exciting, everyone starts to count down, ready for the boat to move. You hadn't noticed before, but now you see that it is tied to the shore with a glittering, glowing, transparent, magical rope. It has one end tied to a post on the shore, and the other end is tied to the boat, right beside Tom's hand. He hovers his hand over the rope as everyone counts down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tom places his hand on the rope and releases it, throwing it towards the shore, and as he does, it glitters and shimmers and disappears into the air. And you're off! The boat is moving, the river beneath you is flowing, and you're whooshing along at a comfortable and exciting speed down the river. The river ahead of you disappears into the forest, and as you enter between the trees, it's less sunny now. It's a bit dark and shady, and there are all sorts of things to look at. There are birds perched in the trees above you. There are beautiful flowers on the banks, and you can smell some of their scents as you pass them by. You see a rabbit hopping along, and then you see Badger. Badger likes to walk on two legs and wear brightly coloured hats and vests, and sometimes Wellington gumboots. He gives a wave from the place where he sits on the banks, relaxing. The river takes twists and turns, and it's quite a lot of fun. You turn to look at Tom, who has a big grin on his face, especially in places where the river speeds up or tilts down on an angle. "Woohoo!" he calls as you whoosh down a particularly steep bit, and it's like a fairground ride. It's very exciting. Soon, the river slows and you come out into another clearing. Tom explains to you that the rest of the journey will be very gentle and peaceful. And the boat continues on a little way, drifting gently along, rocking gently side to side, and you can hear the chirping of the birds, and the sun is shining gently back on you now. You hear the sound of the river babbling and gurgling and whooshing, and the sound of the water lapping at the banks as the boat travels along, disrupting the water of the river. You start to see butterflies gently flying around, enjoying the sunshine and the serenity and the peace. You see iridescent blue and green dragonflies and damselflies hovering above the surface of the water. And plop! What was that? Plop! You see it again. There are fish jumping out of the water. Brightly coloured fish, some that are almost all the colours of the rainbow. On one fish, they dive up and down, swimming along beside the boat. One even jumps up and waves at you, so you give it a wave and a smile back. The animals and creatures and everyone in Elvaria is just so happy and kind. It's such a lovely place to be. The boat slows down even more now, and Tom explains that you're at the end of your journey. He tells you to hold on tight because you're about to experience something magical that you might not ever have experienced before. You remember that Tom's entire class came on this excursion to practice their magic. Their magic wasn't just used to create this log boat. It wasn't just used for the magical rope holding it to the shore, and it wasn't just used for all the magic they placed on the boat to make sure it had a fun and safe journey. There is one more thing that they did, and this was the biggest thing that they had to really practice their magic, really believe in themselves, and put in a lot of effort to do. They created a magic portal, and you are about to go through it. Now, this magic portal was created simply because they needed a way to get the magic boat back to where it started, ready for the others to have a turn. They could have made the boat fly, or they could have walked downstream and then helped paddle it back all the way up, or something like that. But they have magic, so it made sense to make a portal, and this way they can have lots of river rides. Everyone can have a turn, and it is very quick to get the boat back to the start, ready for the next wizard. Tom points to the portal, and you can see it now. It's clear and see-through, but shimmering with sparkly silver and gold magic, just like the rope was. It's right ahead of the boat. Tom smiles, looks you straight in the eye, and asks, "Well, are you ready?" Well, yes, you're as ready as you'll ever be. So with a wave at the boat, with his wand, Tom sets it towards the portal, and you drift right up to it now. You see the front of the boat going through the portal and disappearing. You get closer and closer to the portal, and as you do, the boat in front of you disappears more and more until you are going through the portal. Your hands disappear first. You can't see them in front of you, but you can see your arms all the way up to that portal. It feels tingly and buzzing, and whoosh, you go through the rest of the portal. You can see your body and the boat now, and Tom as well. You're still on the river, but as you look around you, you are right where you started. The waterfall's behind you. The big banks of the river, of this clearing, is around you, and all the wizards are cheering and clapping, and so is their teacher, happy to know that their magic has worked. Tom gives them 2 thumbs up, and you give a smile, and you can give a thumbs up too if you like. With a wave of his wand, Tom ties the boat up again with the magic rope. Then he climbs out onto the bank and gives you a hand out too. It's time for the other wizards to have a go, and the next 2 boys climb into the boat, ready for their turn. It was such a fun adventure, such a wonderful river ride, and Tom tells you that you can come back again another time. You are most welcome to have more river rides in Elvaria again in future. Right now, it's time for you to go back to your own world. And so you say goodbye to Tom and give him a big hug, if you like. And you wave goodbye to all the other wizards and thank them for the fun and joy that their magic has brought you today. Then you find a comfortable patch of soft, luscious grass that feels warm and comfortable in the sunshine. It's a quiet place, away from the others, and you lie down and relax. You slow your breathing down and say goodbye to the world of Elvaria. As you breathe slowly and deeply, you are transported out of your imagination and back into your very own bed at home, feeling so relaxed, so comfortable, sleepy and satisfied with such a lovely adventure, knowing that you can return to Elvaria anytime you like. You are feeling sleepy, and you're ready to drift off to sleep, to have more wonderful, magical dreams.